इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक्स डिस्कस करेंगे एंड श्रीकांत विल हेल्प अस एंड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक्स is very important topic as far as JEE is concerned, as well as it is like base for learning many other topics. And in whole of the electrostatics, in whole of the electricity and magnetism, electrostatics will be used. So electrostatics is very conceptual and easy topic. So Shrikant will tell more about electrostatics.
हाँ देख, एक तो ये बात है कि इट इज़ वेरी इजी टॉपिक. अनदर थिंग दैट यू ऑलरेडी सेड इज इसका एप्लीकेशन बहुत है लेटेस्ट चैप्टर्स में एंड इट इज़ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग ऑल्सो. सो लेट अस स्टार्ट ऑफ विद electrostatics. See, basics of electrostatics I think are very important. One should not be confused with these things ताकि बाद में कोई प्रॉब्लम ना हो. So let us start with basics. What is electrostatics? Statics means something that does not change or move with time. So when we say electrostatics, इसका मतलब ये होता है कि we are dealing with charges at rest. They are not moving. So remember that if they move, there are a lot of other things that should be taken into consideration like magnetic fields and all that. तो जब तक वो रेस्ट पे हैं हमें इन सब चीज़ों की चिंता करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. चलो, what are the properties of charge? First of all, what is charge? Charge is a fundamental property of matter, something like mass. You cannot exactly, मतलब तुम ढंग से बोल नहीं सकते कि यार मास होता क्या है. तुम बस इतना बोल सकते हो कि हाँ मतलब इसमें मास ज़्यादा है, इसमें मास कम है. तुम बोल नहीं सकते एग्जैक्टली कि यार ये मास. तो चार्ज भी थोड़ा बहुत वैसा ही है. इट इज़ अ फंडामेंटल प्रॉपर्टी. ठीक है. देयर आर two types of charges basically, positive and negative charges. Positive charges are because of protons and negative charges are because of electrons. So charge of a proton is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb, जिसको हम 1 e की तरह लिखते हैं. ठीक है. coulomb is the SI unit of charge. Charge of an electron is minus e. So another, see, क्योंकि चार्ज इज मेड अप ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स एंड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, मतलब कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट है अगर उसमें कोई चार्ज है, मान लो Q टोटल, तो उसका मतलब Q इसीलिए है क्योंकि उसके अंदर कुछ प्रोटॉन्स हैं या कुछ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं, उनकी वजह से ही है. तो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर कि इसकी वजह से चार्ज इज क्वांटाइज्ड. सो Q इज इक्वल टू N इंटू E. सो N इज एन इंटीजर. इट कैन बी लाइक एनीथिंग फ्रॉम minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay. like हाँ -1 0 1 2 something like that. ठीक है. कंजर्वेशन ऑफ चार्ज ये अगर कंसिडर एन आइसोलेटेड सिस्टम, मतलब कोई बॉडी है विच इज आइसोलेटेड फ्रॉम इट्स सराउंडिंग में कुछ भी नहीं है. okay. तो इसके अंदर जो टोटल चार्ज होगा that will always be constant. कुछ भी केमिकल रिएक्शन हो जाए, कुछ भी हो जाए, फिजिकल रिएक्शन, न्यूक्लियर, एनीथिंग, चार्ज विल ऑलवेज बी द सेम. अगर नेट चार्ज इसका Q है तो कभी भी देख लो नेट चार्ज Q ही रहेगा. दिस विल नॉट चेंज. ठीक है. चार्ज इज इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस. तो इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस का मतलब है कि मान लो यहाँ पे कोई चार्ज है Q, हम यहाँ पे खड़े हैं और हमने देखा कि ये Q है. तो अगर कोई बंदा यहाँ एरोप्लेन में जा रहा है v वेलोसिटी के साथ, तो उसको भी ये चार्ज Q ही लगेगा. इन दोनों को सेम लगेगा. इट इज इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस. एडिटिविटी ऑफ चार्जेस. सो एडिटिविटी ऑफ चार्जेस का मतलब ये है, जो हम एक्चुअली ऑलरेडी स्टेट कर चुके हैं, दैट नेट चार्ज इज सम ऑफ इंटरनल चार्जेस. मान लो ये बॉडी है तो इसमें चार्जेस हैं Q1 Q2, 2 चार्जेस हैं. सो नेट चार्ज विल बी इक्वल टू, सो मान लो नेट चार्ज Q है, Q विल बी इक्वल टू Q1 प्लस Q2. हाँ. सो नाउ व्हाट इज कंटिन्यूअस चार्ज? अभी तक मैंने बोला था कि चार्ज इज क्वांटाइज्ड. इसका मतलब है कि चार्ज मतलब ऐसे अलग अलग इलेक्ट्रॉन्स और प्रोटॉन्स की वजह से बना है. ठीक है. तो चार्ज विल ऑलवेज बी N into E. बट अगर आप देखोगे कि E इज इक्वल टू 1.6 इंटू 10 पावर माइनस 19 कूलम. 10 पावर माइनस 19 बहुत ही छोटा क्वांटिटी है. तो इसकी वजह से हम लोग जनरली मैक्रोस्कोपिक लेवल, मतलब जिस लेवल पे हम लोग ऑब्जर्व करते हैं, उस लेवल पे क्वांटाइजेशन का रिलेवेंस नहीं रहता है. मतलब जैसे मान लो ये सीढ़ियां हैं.
ओके.
हाँ, तो ऐसी सीढ़ियां हैं. अब ये सीढ़ियां मतलब इनफाइनाइट हैं. तो जैसे जैसे हम लोग जूम आउट करते जाएंगे, जितना दूर से देखने लगेंगे, हमें ये सीढ़ियां एक सीधी लाइन की तरह दिखेंगी.
ओके.
तो ये ऐसा हो गया कि ये माइक्रोस्कोपिक एटॉमिक लेवल हो गया और ये मैक्रोस्कोपिक लेवल हो गया जिसपे हम देख पाते हैं. तो एक एक चार्ज की वजह से पूरा चार्ज बनता है, बट हम एक एक चार्ज को नहीं देख पाते, है ना. तो इसकी वजह से हमें ऐसे बस एक सीधी लाइन दिखती है. तो दिस इज फॉर, तो इसलिए हम लोग कहते हैं कि कंटिन्यूअस चार्ज है. हाँ.
ओके. सो लाइक कोई
तो मान लो कि मैंने बोल दिया कि यूनिफॉर्मली चार्ज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड है Q और इसका लेंथ L है.
ओके.
ठीक है. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि मान लो मैं बहुत ही छोटा सा एक पार्ट लूं इसका ऑफ लेंथ DL, तो उसमें चार्ज होगा Q बाई L इंटू DL. वो DL कितना भी छोटा हो उसमें चार्ज होगा, प्रोपोर्शनेटली चार्ज होगा उसमें. तो दिस इज व्हाट इज मेंट बाय कंटिन्यूअस चार्ज.
ओके. Friends, so far we have learned some basic concepts in electrostatics. So Shrikant, can you tell us more concepts in electrostatics?
हाँ, exactly. Let us talk about the materials that contain charges. So they can be basically divided into two parts: conductors and insulators. Conductors conduct electricity, which means charges can move inside freely, and insulators do not conduct electricity. Charges cannot move freely inside.
Okay.
So say suppose there is a conductor. Conductors are mostly metals. Say suppose I give, it's a spherical shell, so I give a charge Q at one point. What will happen is, because electricity is conducted, so due to repulsions, all these charges they will spread out like this. They will spread out. They will be present only on the surface of that sphere, and the net charge will be still Q. So whereas if this is a insulator, this is an insulator, a sphere, so a charge is present at a point, say Q charge. So it will still be present at this point only. It will not spread out the way conductors, हाँ, the way conductors में जैसे हो रहा है. So
basically because the charge cannot move inside there.
हाँ.
Okay.
तो because conductors conduct electricity, say suppose I have two conductors with charges plus Q and minus Q. If I bring them together and make a contact, so what will happen is the charges will be transferred and the net charge of this whole body will be plus Q minus Q is equal to 0. So this body will become neutral. So similarly, so using this concept, we will learn the next thing, that is charging by contact. Say there is a body, say a conducting body. We want to charge this body. So what we can do is we can bring another conducting body of some charge.
Okay.
So if we make these two conductors contact each other, then charge will be distributed. For example, say Q by 2, Q by 2. So if we so now if we remove them, like make them separate, then we'll have charge Q by 2 on our original body. So we can charge a body by contact. So what is charging a body by induction? It is, when we say induction, we don't make any contact. So what exactly is done is, say there is a conducting sphere. The sphere is conducting and this part is insulated. Only this is a metallic sphere. So we bring a charge, say Q, near it. Because of this charge Q, some charge will appear on, say negative charge will appear on this surface. Because always remember, like charges repel each other and unlike charges attract. So say if this charge Q is positive, the negative charge will be attracted here and positive charge will accumulate here. So this is now
Okay, so charge is like charge can move inside the conductor, so like it is get a negative charge is deposited on that side because it is attracted. Okay.
exactly. So you using say this very same concept, if I use two spheres and then bring a charge here, what will happen is negative charge will be will accumulate this side and positive charge will accumulate on this side. So now if I separate these two spheres, then we'll have a sphere having negative charge, another sphere having positive charge.
Okay.
So this is called charging by induction. So we didn't make this charge Q touch these charges.
Oh.
Still we somehow transferred, we didn't transfer actually, we made these bodies charged.
Okay.
So now what is a point charge? When we say a point charge, it means that we can assume, say suppose there is a body, we can assume that all the charge on the body is present only on one point. So this is called a point charge. Point charge is there is no such thing as point charge in the real world, but theoretically point charge is very useful. So let's move on to Coulomb's law. So Coulomb performed certain experiments and he found out the force between two charges. So it comes out to be F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. So there are two point charges Q1 Q2 and the distance between them is R. So these are the forces acting on them. From Newton's third law, these forces are equal and opposite. So this is the F force acting on them. So this quantity we can write it as K. This quantity K is equal to 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. So always remember, this is very important. K is equal to 9 into 10 power 9. This is a very useful value. And within this, the quantity epsilon naught, this is called permittivity of free space. Epsilon naught is equal to 8.854 into 10 power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton per meter square.
Okay. Shrikant, we know that the gravitational force between two masses m1 and m2 is g m1 m2 by r square.
Exactly.
Yes, so and also in this Coulombic force, it is inversely proportional to r square and like directly proportional to q1 and q2. So like, isn't it the two forces are resembling each other?
Yeah, they are very similar. Actually, they come under this category of forces called central forces. So properties बताता हूँ central forces की. They are proportional to r power n. So in this case, n is equal to minus 2.
Okay.
Say r power minus 2. मतलब 1 by r square ना. हाँ. So and they act along the line joining them. Say हाँ मतलब this is a line joining two points, point masses or point charges. The force will act along the line joining them.
Okay.
So there are cases, जैसे मान लो कुछ forces हैं जो central forces नहीं है, कि जैसे मान लो strong nuclear forces होती हैं जिनमें force does not act along the line joining them.
Okay.
हाँ. So let us move on. So हाँ, हमने डिस्कस किया था कि epsilon naught is permittivity of free space. तो फ्री स्पेस का मतलब ये हुआ कि जैसे मान लो टू पॉइंट चार्जेस हैं Q1 एंड Q2. सो हमने उसको ऐसे वैक्यूम में रखा है, तो अगर तब उन दोनों के बीच में फोर्स कैलकुलेट करना है तो वी हैव टू यूज एप्सिलॉन नॉट. मान लो हमने वैक्यूम की जगह उसको कहीं और रखा है, जैसे मान लो पानी में रख दिया, तो देन फोर्स बिटवीन देम विल चेंज, and that we have to calculate using epsilon naught of water. Epsilon of water.
Okay, epsilon of water.
Epsilon of water. Say, और water की जगह any other medium.
Okay, so can you explain what is epsilon?
What is epsilon? Epsilon, यहाँ पे जैसे हमने epsilon not यूज किया था, तो वो फ्री स्पेस के लिए था. Epsilon will depend on medium. वाटर का एप्सिलॉन कुछ होगा. इफ आई टेक समथिंग एल्स, जैसे मान लो इफ आई टेक एयर, तो एयर का एप्सिलॉन विल बी, फॉर एयर बताता हूँ, फॉर एयर एप्सिलॉन इज ऑलमोस्ट इक्वल टू एप्सिलॉन नॉट.
ओके,
हाँ, बट वाटर के लिए एप्सिलॉन इज नॉट इक्वल टू एप्सिलॉन नॉट. सो एप्सिलॉन इज, इट इज अ कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ द मटेरियल. ठीक है,
the medium in which the charges are located.
हाँ, it is the characteristic of medium. So this constant k is the ratio between epsilon and epsilon naught. This constant is called dielectric constant.
Okay.
हाँ, another name of this constant, do you know?
Like permeability constant, relative permeability.
हाँ, exactly. तो let us move on to electric field.
Okay.
No, sorry, before that, principle of superposition. Say suppose there are three charges, Q1, Q2, Q3, and I am asking you the net charge on, three charges, net force on Q2.
Okay.
So how will you calculate? So for this we will use principle of superposition. मतलब force on Q2, net force on Q2 will simply be vector summation of forces due to Q1 and Q3.
Okay.
हाँ, so ये वाला force और ये वाला force का vector summation.
Adding up all the forces due to the individual charges present around the point charge.
हाँ, vector summation.
Okay.
Since force is a vector.
Yes.
Let us move on to electric field. Electric field का concept क्यों, why is it relevant, बताता हूँ. जैसे मान लो दो चार्ज हैं Q, और यहाँ पे 1 कूलम का चार्ज रख दिया हमने. तो यार ये these two charges are not in contact.
Okay.
Then how come Q is able to exert a force on this charge of 1 coulomb, or 1 coulomb charge is able to exert a force on Q? To explain this, scientists came up with the idea of electric field. They said कि अगर यहाँ पे कोई चार्ज Q है स्पेस में, तो वो that will establish an electric field. ठीक है, in the space around it. तो when you are placing a charge Q2 nearby it, you are not placing it anywhere, you are placing it in its electric field. तो उसका electric field is causing that force. ऐसे समझ लो.
Okay, so like this electric field is present for every charged body around its surrounding.
हाँ, every charged body, every charge will have its electric field.
Okay.
So अब मान लो मैंने बोल दिया कि यहाँ पे एक चार्ज Q1 है, यहाँ पे एक चार्ज Q2 है. अब इस पॉइंट P पे पता करो इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड. तो how will you do it? This will have its own electric field at this point. This will have its own
like
electric
we will
field.
use the principle of superposition.
हाँ, principle of superposition.
Okay.
तो principle of superposition की वजह से electric field at this point is vector summation of electric field due to
Q1 and Q2.
Q1 and Q2.
Okay.
And electric field का formula will be simply 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square.
Okay.
Why Q by R square? यहाँ पे into 1. See, electric field is defined as force experienced per unit charge at a point.
Okay.
For experienced by a unit charge.
Okay, so what Shrikant is saying is that the electric field tells us that at any point, like what is the force experienced by a unit charge when it is placed at that point. So at at that point we can find the electric field, and electric field is present for every charge. There is every charge has its unique electric field, and so at a specific point we can find the net electric field by the addition of electric field of the
Principle of
individual charges.
superposition.
Yes, by the principle of superposition. Okay.